And here comes Rylan Jones working right to left. Bairstow rotates right, then back to Rylan Jones, then back to Bairstow. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Bairstow gets to the elbow, can't do anything with it. Hands to Rylan Jones. He's back up in traffic. Hands to Bairstow for three, way short. And here comes Santa Clara quickly going the other way. Carlos Stewart works to the left side, hands to Badeko. Badeko outside the three-point line. Looking for Pajemski, finally gets it to him. He comes around the screen. Pajemski with a left-hand floater off the glass, no good. Fight for the rebound, and taken back by Santa Clara as Badeko is able to rip it away from Trevin Dorius. Justice driving into the lane. Picked up in traffic, has to kick it back outside. Now Brown, hands back to Justice. Justice drives and has his shot deflected away. And here comes Utah State going the other way. Funk to Bairstow. Back to Funk. Funk to the elbow, has a nice lane, lays it up and in with the right hand. Almost felt like those waters parting and thought, you know what, I'll just take a leisurely stroll down the lane and lay this thing up and in. Pajemski back to Brown. Brown pump fakes the three, then gives it down low. Good positioning for Badeko, and his shot at the rim won't go. Utah State leaves it for Shulga. Shulga to the center of the court. Weaves it left to Rylan Jones. Jones trying to take his man off the dribble, leaves it for Funk. Funk on the baseline. Goes against Pajemski. His right-hand floater, no good, as he looked like a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar skyhook into lane, but just couldn't get it to fall. Carlos Stewart quickly to Badeko. Badeko on the right low block. Spins, no foul call, is able to push it up and in. Trevin Dorius tried to sell it, and now gets hit with the flopping call.
You know, in our first two games, and now this being the third game, that is one thing that I've actually been impressed with the refs. They are calling the flop. And
yep.
that one wasn't kind of gross, but at the same time, Trev should have stayed on his feet.
So Pajemski will shoot the free throw and gets it to go. Trevin Dorius took the hit, fell down, and also I think the flopping call came a little late. Like, he looked up and goes, hey, where's the call? He's like, okay, I'll give you the call. Here it is.
Yeah, Mac's doing a good job defensively on Pajemski so far.
Shulga swings it left to Bairstow. Back to Shulga. Shulga coming around to Dorius' screen, lost the handle, diving for it, and coming away with it is Santa Clara. 2-on-1 fast break, layup up and good. And there's that speed in transition. Parker Brown, 6'10", can move like a locomotive down the court, and Santa Clara has the early 5-2 lead. Shulga to Bairstow, leaves it back for Shulga. Shulga to the elbow, rises, fires, and hits. Beautiful shot coming off the screen and buries the bucket. Aggies down 5-4. Carlos Stewart picked up by Rylan Jones to Brown. Brown outside the three-point line, trying to slip it to Pajemski, and there's Funk just ripping it out of his hands. Funk will throw it down with the right hand. The steal, the drive, and the dunk. Taylor Funk goes over to the crowd and said, let's go, let's hear from you. Aggies take the lead back 6-5. Carlos Stewart rises from inside the free throw line, misses badly, but here comes Utah State, comes away with it. As Badeko tried to steal it away, here's a transition dunk. Rylan Jones slips it to Funk, back-to-back dunks. Aggies up 8-5.
Great play by Rylan, seeing Funk where the defense didn't.
Aggies on a 6-0 run. Pajemski being harassed by Shulga, drives baseline, his pass stolen away by Shulga. Shulga leaves it back to Rylan Jones. Three in transition, you got it! And the Aggies out running early, 11-5. That is a 9-0 Utah State run. No timeout by Santa Clara. Herb Sendek says play through it. Let's figure this out. Justice outside the three-point line, works it right. Brown takes the three, buries it from the right wing, and gives a hush to the crowd. 11-8, snaps Utah State's 9-0 run.
Scotty, I gotta say, Rylan pulling up on the break, hitting the three, that's a great sign for Aggie fans that his confidence is high enough to be able to do that. He's not hesitating at all when he shoots the ball.
Funk to Dorius to Shulga. Shulga takes the shot and rattles out. Shulga tried to sell a foul, not given to him. Carlos Stewart in transition, runs down the court, and there's the charge. Rylan Jones earns the charge, probably the first of many tonight, and that brings us to our under 16 timeout. Utah State leading Santa Clara 11-8, 15:49 left in the first half. This is Aggie basketball from Learfield.
Can't choose between watching your favorite Mountain West team on TV or going everywhere else you need to be? With the official Mountain West app, you don't have to. Watch hundreds of Mountain West games and championship events, live or archived, from wherever you are, all for free with the Mountain West app. Available on mobile and connected TV devices. Download the Mountain West app today.
Left here in the first half. Utah State leading Santa Clara 11-8. Aggies made 4 out of the last 5. Was on a 9-0 run until Parker Brown tempted and made his first 3 of the season. He had not attempted a 3 yet this year, but buried that one from the right wing. Utah State leads again 11-8. Utah State Athletics and American First Credit Union featuring the academic success of USU student athletes this week. Your student athlete of the week goes to Ike Larson, and what a show he put on. The Skyview grad with 2 interceptions against Hawaii. 1 return for a score, had a sack, a bunch of tackles. That dude flat out played. Was also named the Mountain West not only freshman of the week, but defensive player of the week as well for that effort against Hawaii.
Both coaches, I can guarantee, in the huddle saying take care of the basketball. 5 total turnovers between the teams.
Funk rises for 3, no good. Dorius slips in and can't get it to go, but is fouled. Trevin Dorius, and you brought up a really good point when we were talking about Trevin. You just want Trevin for teams to feel him in the paint. He's such a big body and can create so much havoc there in the paint.
Yeah, that's a great example right there where 2 bodies on him, but he's long enough and his hands are good enough to where he goes up, chases the rebound, and tries to put it back and gets fouled on it. Those are the type of plays that Trev needs to make to impact the game.
Dorius makes his first free throw. Second one up. Second one good. Woo. Atkins going to come in for Dorius, and Hamoda is going to check in for Rylan Jones. Z Hamoda, who has had such a great start to the season, including Stephen Ashworth, who had a career high and season high 28 points last week against Bradley. Also into the game is Brenton Napper into the game for Santa Clara. Brown in the low block against Funk, spins, puts the right hand floater up and gets it to go.
Great post move, left-handed hook. Most guys expect him to come back to his right, but he used his left hand. That's a really nice move.
Brown only averages 6 points a game. He's got 5 here in the first 4.5 minutes. Stephen Ashworth gets the elbow, kicks it to Hamoda. Hamoda lost the handle, but able to recollect, steps into a long shot, misses it off the back of the iron. And quickly going the other way is Napper. And Pajemski takes the 3 in transition and buries it. You cannot leave that young man open as he knocks it down from the beyond the 3-point line, and we are all squared at 13 apiece. Now here comes Santa Clara on a 6-0 run after Utah State went on a 9-0 run. Shulga gets a screen. Shulga rises, right-hand floater, leaves it a bit short, fights for the rebound, and is going to get hit for the over the back. Jacob Holt, number 15, 6'9", 235-pound sophomore, controlling the paint, and Shulga tried to go over his back.
You know, that's one of the keys in terms of, turnovers. It's hard to guard a turnover, but then also when Santa Clara pushes it, you got to make sure that you're finding your man, and Pajemski caught free. They didn't find him early enough.
Pajemski crosses the timeline. Aggies with a little bit of press. Works it left to Napper, then up top to Brown. Brown guarded by Shulga. Tries to slip it in the paint. And into the paint, the shot and the push shot up and good by Carlos Marshall, also into the game. And Santa Clara answers Utah State's 9-0 run with an 8-0 run and has taken the lead back. Z Hamoda Rotates left to Shulga. Hands to Ashworth. The Funk. Funk rises for three. Leaves it too long. The ball tipped out of bounds. Whose ball? It is back to Santa Clara. Number 13, Christoph Tilly from Germany checking in. He's a 7-footer. He'll come in for Brown, who gave Santa Clara some really good minutes. And Podjemski takes an early seat.
Tilly comes out of the club Alba Berlin, which is one of the top teams in Germany, comes out of their youth program.
Down low, ball fought for. Tilly can't control it, and Funk deflects it away from him. And Funk right there on the bench says, I'll just take a seat as Sean Bairstow checks in. 15-13. Again, as you mentioned, turnovers. That's the 4th turnover for Santa Clara. Utah State with 2 turnovers. Aggies hit a little bit with that turnover bug against Bradley. Still able to win that game by 22. Shulga looking for somebody to clear. Akin comes out to help him. Down low to Bairstow. Bairstow on the left low block. Sizing up Marshall. Going to work. Spins left. Takes the floater up. Missed it and draws the foul. So Sean Bairstow will go to the line for free throws. Bairstow 3 for 4 from the line in the first 2 games of the season.
You know, if you remember, Sean's older brother Cameron, who played at New Mexico, was a great low post player, ended up getting drafted playing for the Bulls. Sean didn't inherit the size, but he inherited a really good back to the basket game.
Leaves that free throw short. Santa Clara still leads by 2, 15-13. Aggies on the court. Z Hamoda, Sean Bairstow, Ashworth, Shulga, and Akin. Second free throw is good. 1-point game, but Utah State does snap that 8-0 Santa Clara run. As Napper brings the ball, crossing the timeline. Hands to Marshall, then rotates left to Tilly, back to Marshall. Trying to slip it down on the cutter, but stolen away by Utah State. Akin on the left low block after the turnover. Akin going to work, puts a right-hand floater. He can't get it to go. Aggies have had a couple good looks in the paint, just won't fall. Utah State trailing 15-14.
All of their shots have been back rim, which is good. If you're going to miss it, that's where you want it to be. So I think the Aggies are shooting the ball well.
Justice back to Holt. Holt down low, puts the shot off the glass, no good. Rebound ripped down by Ashworth. Ashworth in transition, wants to run. Leaves it for Shulga, pump fakes, drives, kicks it to Akin. Akin back up top. Bairstow for 3, no good. And the rebound ripped down by Holt. Again, wide open looks, just missed. Utah State trailing 15-14. Marshall drives, Justice off the glass, no good. And Akin with another rebound. Rebounds so far, 9 for Santa Clara, 6 for Utah State. Z Hamoda, he'll drive. Z attacks the lane, won't go. Altered a little bit by Holt, did not block it, but hand-to-hand in the face. Now driving in transition, missed the shot, is Napper. And this is getting a little ragged, Spencer. Utah State may slow things down here and run a set.
Up and down, up and down. These guys aren't hesitating.
Here comes Hamoda, kicks it back to Ashworth. Pump fakes the 3, takes 2 steps inside the line, takes the jumper and knocks it down. Heady play there by Stephen Ashworth.
Yeah, obviously the scouting report is to force him off the 3-point line, and Steve didn't force anything there, which was really nice.
Aggies take the lead back 16-15. Aggies have missed 8 in a row from the field before making that bucket from Ashworth. Although Santa Clara themselves are on a scoring drought of nearly 2.5 minutes. Going to work is Tilly. Tilly spins right, can't find anything, so finally works it back to Marshall. Marshall drives into the lane, takes the bucket and knocks it down. Santa Clara shooting 46% from the field, Utah State 37%. Santa Clara, the Broncos leading by 1. Ashworth looking for a screen from Akin, gets it, hands back to Akin, who gives it right back to Ashworth. Back to Akin on the give and go. Akin is fouled as Tilly got his hand in the cookie jar and gets hit for the foul. Brings us to our next media timeout. Santa Clara leading by 1, 17-16, 11:09 left in the first half. This is Aggie basketball from Learfield.
Spins out of pressure. End zone. Touchdown. This time he's through. Touchdown.
Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you can save. Geico.com, easy. Well, welcome back to the Spectrum here in Logan. It hasn't been easy for Utah State. Santa Clara out to an early 17-16 lead against the Aggies. This is a good team they're playing right now. Certainly the best out of the three teams that Utah State has faced this year. And Santa Clara sat Pajemski, who has been averaging 35 minutes a game. They also sat Bediako, and yet Utah State is still unable to put a run with their stars back out or on the bench, and now both of them come back into the game.
Yeah, clearly the most talented team offensively that the Aggies have faced so far. They've got a number of weapons. You got the Brown kid putting up 5 points when he normally averages 4, and just the pace of play. We're in for a good show tonight, Scotty. I mean, both teams are playing good basketball right now.
It does seem like Utah State's trying to match the pace of Santa Clara, which I don't know if is their game or not. Rylan Jones trying to inbound it, and Stephen Ashworth is able to come back to the front court to collect. Ashworth hands to Bairstow. Bairstow in traffic. Bairstow trying to spin into the lane. Bounce pass to Akin, kicks it back to Rylan. Rylan pump fakes the pass, then takes the shot and hits it. Rylan Jones hits the three. Aggies up 19-17. Rylan 2 for 2 from downtown after going scoreless in that game against Bradley, in which he dealt with a lot of foul trouble. He's come to play today.
Yeah.
Elbow jumper is missed, and here comes Utah State. Z Hamoda puts his foot on the gas. He's into the lane, kicks it back to Rylan for 3. Yes! Rylan! 3 for 3 from 3, and the Aggies up by 5, 22-17. Now it's Utah State on a 6-0 run. It's been a game of runs for both teams in this game. Brown back in the game, can't find anybody, so he swings it to Justice on the right wing. Bediako comes back to collect. He's outside the three-point line, finding Pajemski. Pajemski tried to take a contested shot and does draw the foul. Pajemski averages 10.5 free throw attempts a game because he's sneaky, he gets guys up in the air, and even in on a pass, he's able to draw a foul.
Yeah, he's a very strong guy, and so he's able to get into guys and then sell the calls, so is what you would say.
Brown trying to post up against Bairstow, puts a right-hand just push shot up and gets it to go.
Yeah, he had a left-hand jump hook a couple times back down the floor. Now he shows he's got his right hand as well.
22-19. Akin sets a scheme for Rylan, leaves it back for Akin, attacks, gets the bucket, and he draws the foul. Beautiful pass from Rylan Jones, who is feeling it tonight, Spencer.
That shows maturity. He obviously, as you mentioned, he got in foul trouble against Bradley, never found his rhythm, went scoreless, bounces back immediately against a very good Santa Clara team and has started the game on fire.
Dan Atkins' free throw is good. Hey, don't look now. He's made his last 3. 2 for 2 on his last trip in that Bradley game.
How dare you jinx him?
No, that's when they're about to take the shot.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I can work that in afterwards.
You're okay now. Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Justice outside the three-point line. Gets it down to Brown, who's been fantastic in the early stages. Looking for Pajemski. Comes around the screen. What a flick of the wrist, and puts it up and in.
And that was a 14-foot floater.
25-21. He told you before the game, I've been putting in the work. And he certainly has. Stephen Ashworth underneath the bucket. Ashworth looking for a cutter. Finally hands it to Jones. Heat check, and he airballs the 3. Goes out of bounds. And Jones goes, yeah, that was my bad. I probably shouldn't have done that.
I like that shot. That doesn't bother me at all. He's made 3 in a row. Give it a shot.
25-21, 4-point lead. Justice trying to drive on Hamoda, but he's cut off. Slips it to Brown, but the ball goes out of bounds, deflected away off of Hamoda. Hamoda saying, no way. And here comes Ryan Odom trying to plead the case as well. Official still talking about it. And he says, nope, it's still off Hamoda.
I don't know if either of those guys actually saw it. They make their best guess.
Yep. 19 seconds on the shot clock. Pajemski hands back to Justice from beyond the three-point line. Miss it, and the rebound pulled down by Holt. Back to Stewart, long 3. That is missed, and the rebound now secured by Utah State with Bairstow. Bairstow running transition by himself. Kicks it to Hamoda. Hamoda thought about the 3. He attacks, puts the shot up, missed it. Deflected away, taken by Bairstow. Bairstow, and the bad pass split. Ashworth and Hamoda, neither one of them knew who that pass was going for, and it goes out of bounds. 23, Aggies with their largest lead of 7. Pajemski has the ball knocked out of his hands. Rylan Jones comes from behind. Rylan behind the three-point line. Leaves it for Ashworth. He'll take the three. He nails it. Aggies out and running, up by 10, 33-23, 6:40 left, and Herb Sendek wants a timeout to talk about it.
These guards are playing, and I'll say this coaching staff, Utah State's coaching staff is really upset that Sendek's out on the floor. When they're coming up on the end, if you notice, Sendek's got about a foot and a half where he's on the floor. Coach Odom's saying they can't have 6 guys out there.
33-23, we'll take a 30-second timeout. This is Aggie basketball from Learfield.
I don't know.
33-23 is our score. Utah State leading by 10. 6:40 left to go in the first half. Aggies on an 8-0 run, and Utah State has made 5 of 12 from 3. Rylan 3 of 4, Funk 1 for 3, and Ashworth 1 for 1. Aggies smelling blood in the water. Badeko with the ball, gets to the elbow, kicks it right. Stewart gets in the lane. Stewart takes the floater and knocks it down. These guys can drive, get in the lane, and they can finish with that mid-range jumper. Funk left alone for 3, so he'll take it, he'll bury it. Funk said, "You gonna leave me alone out here? I'm gonna just drill this shot all day long." Aggies up by 11, 36-25. Probably not in the game plan to leave him wide open.
Yeah, no, not at all. But once again, in transition, hard to find it.
Rylan Jones comes away trying to steal the ball from behind against Badeko.
If you notice the Aggie post players, the Santa Clara post players are getting in there, ducking out and getting wide. The Aggie post players are staying right behind. They've got to get around and get a hand in, because that's way too easy of an entry pass, and he's catching it so deep.
Stewart set to inbound. Aggies lead 36-25. 5:55 left in the first half. Aggies trying to run away and hide. That's going to be difficult to do against this Santa Clara team. They are really good. Bediako has just been tremendous. Pajemski has only got 6, but you know he's going to go off at any given moment. Inbound to Bediako. Trying to work against Akin. Puts his right-hand floater up and gets it to go.
He's got a back-to-the-basket game.
Here comes R.J. Adelrock crashing in the lane. Yep, offensive foul. Got the bucket. Easy call to make. As R.J. Adelrock crashing into the lane and gets hit with a charge.
And that's where you just have to be aware. That post guy was firmly planted. Yep. Adelrock's got to just pull up at about 12 feet and just hit the short little jumper.
R.J. hasn't gotten a lot of minutes so far in this game, and when he's in transition, you're thinking, here's my time to shine. Brown to Pajemski. Down low in the paint, shot up and good, and that one's going to count. Carlos Marshall able to lay it up and in, cut the lead to 9 with a free throw to come. 8 for 8 Marshall is an 81% free throw shooter. Bairstow's checking in. R.J. Adelrock's going to check out. And Marshall stepping to the line. Had 12 points against Eastern Washington in an earlier game this year for Santa Clara. Their 2 wins this year, Eastern Washington 84-72, and then beat Georgia Southern 78-62. Shoulder works the right side of the court, leaves it for Ashworth, back up top to Bairstow. To Ashworth, thought about the 3. Stewart comes out to put a hand in his face, so he spins, takes the 3 from the other side and hits it. It's raining threes here tonight in Logan. Aggies up 39-30. Should be 42-30. Driving is Pajemski. His pass stolen away by Funk. One-on-one. Funk against Marshall. Drives, puts it off the glass, misses it, gets his own rebound, and will they tie it up? Yes. It'll be Santa Clara's ball.
Yeah, when you have Steven coming off the pick and roll and shooting like that, I mean, you either have to hedge with the big man, and Bediako's not a hedge kind of guy. He's low showing, and Steven knows it. So he's going to be open if he can knock those down like he has.
Aggies have made 5 out of their last 7 buckets. Santa Clara 3 out of their last 3. Napper to Marshall. Marshall back up top to Brown. He'll take another 3 and can't bank that one home. Made his first 3 of the season earlier, but missed that one badly. Bairstow trailing behind, trailing into the lane. Puts his elbow down, tries to spin, and will now retreat and reset back to to Ashworth. Ashworth swings it left. Bairstow for 3, no good. Missed it, and kept in play, though, by Funk. Funk able to get the rebound. Shulga pump fakes, kicks it back to Funk. Funk takes a step back, drives, then shoots the 3, and buries the 3. Oh, my goodness, folks. 42-30 is our score. 4 minutes left to go in the game. Pajemski leaves it for Napper. Napper thought about the 3, but then works it left to Brown. Down low to Bediako. Bediako spins, floater, and rattles home. Hung on the rim for a little bit, took a bounce, and then drops. Utah State's lead is 10, 42-32.
Aggies are playing the game 3 is more than 2. And allowing him to continue to get the ball in the post because they're going to continue to shoot 3s.
Ashworth for 3, leaves it just a hair short. That would have brought this place down. Aggies lead by 10, 42-32. This is going to be a critical 3.5-minute stretch. Pajemski into lane, blocked at the rim, goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Santa Clara. Santa Clara's going to try to make a run here to cut this, back down to 5 or 6 before halftime. Utah State, if they can extend this, will be in a great spot going into the second half. So keep an eye on these next 3.5 minutes. We're at a media timeout. Utah State leads by 10, 42-32 on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield.
With unrivaled landscapes that provide a quality of life unlike any in the country, you'll find us immersed at the peak of nature's splendor through a gateway of opportunity which leads to academic and personal growth that is beyond compare. Our students learn at the peak of achievement, and as our more than 5,000 student athletes take the field of play with unequaled passion, you'll find us performing at the peak of competition. The Mountain West is at the peak.
Left in the half, Utah State leading Santa Clara by 10, 42-32. Big thanks to D.L. Evans Bank for supporting Aggie Athletics. D.L. Evans Bank is a community bank with local employees helping their communities succeed. Well, I'll tell you what, Utah State has just been fantastic. 8 of 17 from beyond the three-point line. Ashworth's got 2, Ryland Jones has got 3, Funk has got 3. And the Aggies are lighting it up from beyond the arc tonight.
I mean, 8 of 17, but really between those 3, as we talked, 8 of 11. I mean, those guys are shooting it at a really high clip. Obviously, if they can continue, and let's get Max involved a little bit and try to get him 1 or 2 looks. He's taken 1 tonight, but this is a great opportunity for a guy like Max. Coach in the pregame brought up Pajemski and said, hey, Max can be that kind of guy. Well, let's see if Max can match this guy and put some points on the board.
Pajemski coming into this game averaging 32 points a game, has got 6. But certainly if you've watched this game enough, you know that this guy can certainly light it up at any given moment. Brown draws the double team, and his pass is stolen away by Shulga. Shulga waits for everybody to come down the court, leaves it back for Ashworth, back to Shulga, down low to Trevin. Trevin's hook shot is missed, and the rebound ripped down by Pajemski. Swings it cross court to Justice. Justice takes the 3 in transition, no good, and that board is ripped down by Stephen Ashworth. He's got 3 rebounds on the night tonight. Aggies still lead by 10, 42-32, as we hit the 3-minute mark. Bairstow trying to drive against Pajemski, likes that matchup. Draws a double team, still puts the floater up and knocks it down over the top of Pajemski.
Sean is really comfortable on that left block. You notice on the right block, he doesn't look to score nearly as much as he does on that left block.
Napper had the ball knocked away from him, still able to recollect. Pajemski outside the three-point line. He rises over Shulga, takes the three, and nestles it home. Woo-hoo-hoo. That's a guy that's shooting with a lot of confidence right now.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of space on that shot, and he didn't hesitate.
44-35 to a 9-point game. Largest lead has been 12 for Utah State. Dorius to Ashworth. Ashworth then swings it to Bairstow. Bairstow leaves it for Shulga. Bad pass stolen away, and that'll be another tie-up, and it'll be Utah State's ball. Oh, nope, they say Santa Clara is able to get the timeout. We'll go ahead and keep it here with 2:14 left in the half, with Santa Clara trying to cut into Utah State's lead, 44-35.
Yeah, that last post play, I go, Trev gets it deep, and his left hand is wide open, and he decides to go to his left shoulder with his right hand. Those are just little things that come from feel. Opportunity to make that. He doesn't. Santa Clara rolls out and is able to score on the transition. So little things like that make such a big difference in a game, because this game is going to come down to a few possessions.
Yeah. Rocky Mountain Dermatology offers Botox, skin cancer, acne, cool sculpting, and laser hair removal services in North Logan, Utah, providing you advanced dermatology and surgery right here in Cache Valley. So Santa Clara trying to withstand Utah State's three-pointing barrage. Aggies have led by as many as 12. Currently it's a 9-point lead with Santa Clara with the ball. Brown rocking the shorts that John Stockton thinks might be a bit too tight.
A lot of these guys, Funk as well. But if you're Sendek, what you're saying, hey, these guys can't keep shooting like it. Stay with it. Stay with it.
Justice looking down low. Gets it to Brown. Pajemski was open for a second, but couldn't quite slip it to him. Justice works it right. Wide open three. Baseline is missed. And the rebound fought for and kept in play by Utah State. Brown tried to dive for it, but Ashworth was there to steal it away. Funk. Pump fakes the left baseline three. Leaves it back up top to Ashworth. Ashworth in the lane. He's double teamed. To Shulga. Shulga's got a good look for three. No good. And a foul's going to go against Bairstow for a push in the back. And let's see, what's our foul situation looking like? That's only the 16th foul, so the Aggies did have a foul to give.
Yeah, the other night, you weren't here, but the refs really were calling the ball really tight, calling the whistle really tight. Sean, I don't think he pushed as much, but the fact he had two hands on the guy in front of him, the ref's going to call that almost all the time.
Yeah. And he flopped forward a little bit, whether it was real or not. You got to know how to sell those. Carlos Stewart gets to the elbow, rises, takes the jumper, and leaves it way short. Rebound, fought for, and Hamoda comes away with it. Good job by Z, pulling down that board. Down low to Dorius. His shot is up and good. Bump to Dorius, and Dorius lays it up and in. Back to a 11-point game, 46-35. Great job by Dorius finishing at the rim. And a steal from Funk on the cross-court pass, and his third dunk of the night as he throws it down. Aggies with their largest lead of 13, 48-35. Who says Funk's only a three-point shooter? Oh, and a flopping call is going to go against Ashworth. Wow, there was a nasty screen. Ashworth hit the deck and then stayed on the court. And the Aggie bench lost their mind, and the officials are going to say that's a flop.
Oh, he sold it.
Pajemski hits the free throw.
And I love Steven to death, but that ref got it right. We saw the replay overhead. He got it right.
Well, both times, it seems like the longer you stay down and look at the official, the more they're going to call the flop. Yeah. If you don't get it, you got to just hop back up.
And Scotty, our listeners, by the end of the year, you will know this. I despise flopping. So if anything's close, I will err on the side of penalizing the flopper.
Pajemski comes around his screen, gets into the lane, looks for the floater, flips it up with the left hand, misses it. Fight for the rebound. Dorius skies up and brings it down. 48-36, 12-point lead. Aggies. Ashworth kicks it to Hamoda. Baseline three. No good. Looked good. Just couldn't go. Funk tips it up and in. Oh, my goodness. Funk with 19 points in the first half. He is on fire. 30 seconds left. Aggies with their largest lead of 14. Justice trying to drive on Hamoda. Gets underneath the bucket. Blocked by Hamoda. Ball still on the court. Fought for Hamoda. Comes away with it. 20 seconds left. That whistle in the background is Coach Odom saying, slow it down. Let's get one good look. Hamoda still pounding the dribble. 8 seconds. 7 seconds. Hamoda still with the dribble. 5. Rises for 3. No good. Funk tries to get the tip in. It won't go at the buzzer, but the Aggies lead by 14, 50-36. What a run by the Aggies down the stretch of the first half, and they put up a 50-burger in the first 20. He averages 10 rebounds a game, too, so you can see there's some talent there. Stewart to Pajemski, drives. Underhand floater, missed, tries to draw the foul, and they won't give it to him. Quick of the outlets it to Bairstow. Bairstow cross court to Shulga. Shulga into the lane once again, stops to Rylan Jones. Jones outside the three-point line, gets the elbow, hands to Funk. Funk rises for 3, yes! Funk's got 22 on the night tonight. And the Aggies lead by 17, 53-36. Brown still holding the dribble, then gives back to Stewart. Stewart to the elbow. He's caught up in traffic, can't do anything with it. Finally leaves it to Bediako, turns around, takes the shot, and knocks it down. 53-39, 14-point lead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, no one told Funk that they might cool off in the second half. It came out, did not hesitate.
Shulga drives, leaves it for Dorius. Dorius is able to pick it up and is fouled on the way up. Couldn't finish the layup. Left it a little bit short, but Trevin Dorius is going to go to the line for 2 free throws. By the way, Stewart got credited for that 3, not Bediako. And here comes Trevin Dorius going to the line. Aggies lead 53-39, 18:35 left in the game. Dorius first free throw rattles out. One more coming up for Trevin.
You know, Scotty, while he's shooting this last free throw, Sam Merrill and I are having a texting conversation about the flopping technical.
Oh, I bet Sam's got opinions on that.
He said he hates the flopping technical. I love it. I don't want floppers to be rewarded at all.
You never flopped, huh?
I wasn't good at it.
Dorius makes the second free throw, 1 for 2. He's 3 for 4 from the line tonight. Pajemski outside the line, leaves it for Brown. Brown then kicks it right to Justice. Justice gets the elbow, leaves it back for Brown. Brown into lane against Dorius. Underhand scoop, layup is up and in. Parker Brown, who's got double figures tonight. He's got 11 after that bucket. Funk leaves it for Shulga. Shulga driving. Shulga splits the double team and lays it up and in. Both Brown and Pajemski was there, and Shulga says, yeah, I'll just go right past both of you and get the layup. 56-41, 15-point game. 17:50 left to go in the game. Stewart, long shot, missed it badly, and the rebound tracked down by Shulga, who kicks it over to Funk. Funk in transition, gets around Pajemski. Funk lays it up and can't finish, but there is Dorius to clean up on aisle 9 and throws down the dunk. And just like that, a timeout from Herb Sendick. 58-41, Aggies up by 17. We got a 1-minute coach's timeout on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield.
Your one stop for all college sports is the brand new Varsity Network website, thevarsitynetwork.com. Keep up with your favorite teams and the rest of college sports no matter where you are with thevarsitynetwork.com. Be sure to check out the Varsity Network website.
Won a 17-point lead for Utah State with 17:36 left to go in the ballgame. Aggies shooting 49% from the field. Santa Clara 44%, and the Aggies 9 of 21 from 3. Did you know 74% of Utahns get prescriptions from a friend or family member? That's no bueno, folks. Keep those medications safely stored and out of reach and properly disposed of. Learn more. Visit knowyourscript.org.
Yeah, Scotty, you think of my keys to the game. Utah State is winning the rebounding battle. They're not holding Santa Clara under 40%, but I'll tell you this. When you shoot 43% from three-point range and you've taken 21 of them, you can afford not to guard quite as well and still have a 17-point lead.
Trevin Dorius on that putback dunk now has 7 points and 3 rebounds. Good to see Dorius coming out and playing. This feels a lot like that Richmond game. He played probably his best game of the year last year. Just always being around the rim, contesting shots, getting putback opportunities, and hitting free throws. Napper to Pajewski. Leaves it then to Marshall, who rotates right, leaves it back to Napper. Napper up top, long three is up by Marshall and knocks it down. And cuts the Aggie lead back down to 14, 58-44. They run some good stuff.
Yeah, really good action.
Shulga spins, gets to the baseline, can't do anything with it, then gives it all the way back to the logo with Rylan Jones. Jones then back to Shulga, back to Jones. Jones hands over to Shulga. Shulga gets the elbow, rises, fires, and misses. Looked good, just wouldn't fall for him. And the rebound pulled down by Santa Clara. Napper to Justice. Justice looking to drive. Looks for Pajewski, then finally he's able to come back and collect. Spins around Shulga, puts the floater up and missed badly, but the rebound gets his own board and misses that one too. By the way, Shulga's doing a tremendous job on him tonight. Rylan Jones, alley-oop to Dorius, yes sir! Oh, Dorius has 9, and Rylan Jones left it up for him to throw it down.
Great pass
Wow.
by Rylan. Rylan started throwing that 3 steps before Trev got there. Just the anticipation and the vision, really good.
Brown to Napper, Napper to Pojemski. Leaves it back for Brown. He'll take another 3 and miss it. Made his first 3 of the season and then proceeded to miss his next 2. Shulga looking for Funk to come help him out after he picked up the dribble. Funk outside the three-point line. Back to Bairstow. Gets a screen from Funk. Spins in the lane, nearly traveled with it, loses it. Funk's able to collect. Works it right. Shulga's wide open for 3. You know it. Easy 3 for Max Shulga. Aggies up by 19, 63-44. We'll have a timeout on the next dead ball. Herb Sendek's hoping they get there soon. Napper, his floater with the right hand. That is missed. And the rebound pulled down by Brown. Leaves it for Pajemski. He's wide open for 3 and misses it. Taylor Funk kind of gives the finger wave saying, nope, you're not going to hit that one tonight. Max Shulga just hit a big 3, guarded by Pajemski on the right wing. Luns another alley-oop. Down low, Dorius throws it down. Had to come down with it, but able to collect and throw down the two-handed dunk. What's going on out here?
Great set play. I don't know for the Mountain West people watching the game, Funk set the screen on Dorius's man after Dorius set the ball screen.
65-54. Cross court, Funk, quick pass to Shulga for 3. No good. Rebound pulled down by Bairstow. Aggies with another opportunity. Aggies lead 65-44. Long 3. Missed that one. Was that Rylan who shot? I was screened away.
That was Rylan.
Aggies up by 21. Brown another 3. That one he hits. Just as soon as the crowd started chanting up by 20, Brown cuts it to an 18-point game, 65-47. Brown on the night tonight, who had not attempted a 3 on the season, is 2 for 4. Nice pass to Jones, kicks it right to Bairstow. Baseline 3, no good. You want Rylan taking that layup?
It's probably getting picked off the glass, honestly. Rylan made the right play. Unfortunately, Bairstow wasn't able to knock down the open shot.
Ball will go back to Santa Clara off of the miss, 65-47 when we come back. Aggies lead by 18 against Santa Clara on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield.
Life's too short to spend all of our time indoors. And in today's day and age, it's important to think outside the box. Find your happy place, grab some friends, and let us help you get to where you really want to be. The Young Automotive Group. Think young, drive young.
Santa Clara 65-47. Hey, remember, tax reform laws impact almost all tax returns each year. Obviously confusing. H&R Block with more than 60 years of experience dealing with those taxes. Information is available at hnrblock.com. H&R Block and Logan, owned and operated by proud Aggie alumni. Well, a lot of proud Aggie alumni right now watching this team play. Still a ton of time left to go in this one. Aggies have led by as many as 21, lead by 18 right now, but a lot of great motion, a lot of great sets. Kind of explain, it wasn't, the last dunk by Dorius was a great set play by Utah State.
Yeah, coming off the Ryland lob to Trev, Odom calls a set play where they've got two bigs stacked at the top of the key in the three-point line. Ryland comes off Trev, and then Funk is at the free throw line, and he comes and finds Trevin's man who's going to be helping on the ball screen. And when his man's not paying attention, which happened on that, all of a sudden Trevin's rolling to the hoop and there's no one there, and that's exactly what Ryland saw and got him the dunk.
Stephen Ashworth, Ryland Jones, Z Hamoda, Dan Akin, and Taylor Funk, who's got 22 points on the night tonight, 9 of 15 from the field, 4 of 6 from 3, as well as 7 rebounds. So Santa Clara with the ball, trying to trim up that Utah State lead with 14-14 left to go in the game. Marshall, who's hit a couple big threes in this game, gives it up, hands back to Napper. Napper, then over to Tilley. Tilley posting up his big man. Marshall going to work, spinning. As Akin puts a hand right in his back, spins, puts the floater up. Ooh, no, it rattles in. Looked like it was going to roll out. But Bediako is able to get the friendly roll, and the Utah State lead is 16 on a 5-0 run here by Santa Clara. Funk to Hamoda. Hamoda trying to drive. He gets into the lane, and his shot is blocked, but he's able to draw the foul, and they're going to get Tilley with the foul on that one. Looked like a clean block, but Utah State will certainly take it.
Yeah, I was going to say Z's going to be able to drive by Tilley all night, but Tilley's length was able to meet him at the rim. It looked like a clean block to me, but Z gets the call.
Ziyamoto with 2 free throws. Aggies have only shot 7 free throws in the game tonight. How about Santa Clara? Only 3 attempts from the line tonight. Hamoda makes the first one. 0 of 5 from the field, including 0 for 2 for 3, but you start seeing those free throws start falling. Maybe the confidence starts coming with the shot.
Absolutely.
Second free throw by Hamoda is up and good.
He had a great offensive game against Bradley the other night, and yeah, struggling a little bit, but still a lot of basketball to play.
Here comes Santa Clara. Looking for somebody to clear. Take the jumper from the elbow, missed. Funk rips down the rebound, and here we go. Utah State quickly in transition. Ryland Jones gets around a defender, leaves it for Ashworth, then to Hamoda, back to Ashworth. He's got a good look for 3, and he buries it. Points to Hamoda and said, thanks for the assist. I'll knock this down, thank you very much. Aggies back up by 21, answering Santa Clara's 5-0 run with one of their own. In trouble is Napper. Finally he's able to retreat. And a turnaround foul. Bediako had his back and is fouled. And Bediako gets 2 free throws.
Watching the first half, after they kept pounding it down low, watch the sign from the ref right here, or from the assistant coach. They took the double team on and off a little bit on the Santa Clara post players. They ran the double team at them, and then they let them go one-on-one. Watch them for them to switch it up a little bit to try to make Bediako a little uncomfortable.
Bediako has not attempted a free throw all season long, and he misses his first one of the year. trying to shoot right into that student section at Utah State. Aggies still lead by 21, 70-49, 12:55 left in the first half. Here comes the second free throw. That is up and nestles home. Not a lot of rotation on that shot. Rylan Jones brings the ball down the court. Leaves it for Funk. Funk with 22 on the night to Ashworth, who just hit a big three. Ashworth's got 13. Funk working to the baseline, spins in traffic, leaves it for Akin. Akin, his floater with the right hand is missed. Tipped around and controlled by who? It'll go back to Santa Clara. Ball knocked out of the hands of Funk, trying to keep it in play. Funk had the last fingernail on it. Utah State leads by 20, 70-50, 12:33 left in the game. Brandon Napper crossing the timeline, going right to left. We have not seen Pajemski for a bit. He plays on average 35 minutes a game, but has sat a good chunk here in the second half. Leave for Akamatu. Then to Napper. Napper comes around a screen. Napper in the lane. His shot is blocked, but he's fouled. Yeah, Funk got him on the arm. That's a good call. And that'll send Santa Clara back to the free throw line.
That was actually very similar action to the play we were talking about that Trevin got the dunk on, but in that case it was Napper setting the back screen on Bediako's guy, and they were trying to get Napper a three-point shot at the top, but no one bit for it, which opened up the lane for him.
So Napper steps up to the line. First free throw is no good. His first free throw attempt of the night tonight won't go. Holt's going to check in for Bediako. And Napper comes back to the line for another free throw. Second free throw is good. So Santa Clara 2 of 4 from their last 4 free throw attempts. And Hamoda kicks it back to Ashworth, who's going to work left to right across your dial. Rylan Jones up top to Akin, then swings it left to Hamoda. Looking for Funk down low. Funk collects. Turnaround jumper, no good, and the rebound ripped down by Tilley. Aggies lead by 19, 70-51, although a little bit of a scoring Funk. Long three by Tilley in transition. Off the back of the iron, miss. Kept up in play by Santa Clara, but finally Funk's able to collect. Rylan Jones to Ashworth to Hamoda. Hamoda spots up for three. That's way long, and another rebound ripped down by Santa Clara. Long, inbound pass down low to Holt. Holt in the block. Holt puts his shoulder down against Akin, lost a handle, ball's down on the court, Funk steals it away. Leaves it for Rylan Jones. Aggies have numbers. Throwing the alley-oop to Akin, who throws it down with 2 hands. Rylan Jones goes to the crowd, so let's hear from you. He's dishing right and left to everybody. And a foul will go against Rylan Jones as Marshall tries to spin on him. With 11:08 left to go in the game, and the Aggies match their largest lead of 21, 72-51. What a fun game tonight in the Spectrum as Utah State looking to go 3-0 to start the year. This is Aggie basketball from Learfield.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free. Download from the App Store and listen today.
And 72-51, 11:07 left to go in the ballgame. Nothing beats the power and excitement of live events like TicketSmarter. For all the best sports, concerts, and theater events, visit TicketSmarter.com or on the app. TicketSmarter, a smarter way to buy tickets. All right, the Aggies, again, lead by 21, 11:08 left to go in the game. This has got to be a hard time as a coach because, you know, you got a big lead, but there's still a ton of time left. You can't start milking clock. You still got to run your stuff and got to keep your guys focused.
Yeah, you're telling, hey, we're playing great basketball. Keep doing it. They're guarding the ball. They're playing on offense with a lot of confidence. Don't hesitate, and they're telling Ekin, don't foul. Look for them to start doubling in the post a little bit.
Yeah. You wonder if there was an injury to Pajemski. He has not been out since, I want to say, the first media timeout. Still not out on the court for Santa Clara. Young man averaging 32 points a game. Bad pass on the inbound, stolen away by Ashworth. Ashworth trying to get into the lane, then will retreat. Leaves it for Hamoda, back to Ashworth. Ashworth getting into the lane, leaves it back to Hamoda. Hamoda drives, Hamoda, right hand layup, won't go. Fight for the rebound, pulled down finally by Santa Clara till he clears. Back to Napper. Napper to Holt. Holt looking for somebody to help. Kicks it to Justice. Justice back to Holt. Holt trying to go to work against Atkin. No double team coming. There's the turnaround layup with the right hand and gets it to go.
Yeah, like I said, I think Utah State's just playing 3 is more than 2, and they're thinking we're going to let you play post offense one-on-one.
Stephen Ashworth to Ryland Jones. And Ashworth nearly foul, or tried to draw the foul. Ball was knocked out of his hands. He has to collect it, and it gets called for the double dribble. They're not handing those fouls out too lightly tonight, are they?
No, they aren't. Opposite of the Bradley game.
Tilly, yeah. Leaves it to, again, Akumetu has not been into the game, and he draws the foul on the drive, but he did not play a second in the first half, and now is out there. And again, he's a 6'5", 210-pound freshman and has only seen time in 1 minute of one game this year. Yep. And yet he's getting time, and you wonder if it's due to something with Pajemski.
Yeah, big physical guard, as you could see on that play. But yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with Pajemski.
Makes his first free throw. Again, Cozy Akumetu. And he'll have another free throw coming up.
Pajemski's sitting on the bench. First one next to the assistant, so doesn't look like there's an injury or anything there.
Makes both free throws, so he scores his first points of the season. And the Aggie lead is down to 17, 72-55. Still a ton of time as we reach the midway point here in the second half. 72-55, 9:53 left in the ball game. Ashworth to Atkin. Atkin faces up against Holt. His right-hand layup up and in as he gets around Holt and lays it up and in.
Great move down in the post. Each game I'm getting more and more impressed with his post game.
74-55. Holt tries to answer back with a three and buries it. Holt knocks down the three. He's got 7 points on the night tonight. 74-58, a 16-point game with 9.5 minutes left. Bairstow driving. Bairstow has the ball stolen away. It's a 2-on-1 fast break. Leaves it for Justice. Justice attacks. Oh, and that's going to be a goaltend. I don't think that was going down anyway. But a foul and the goaltend. So it's going to be a bucket and an end-one opportunity for Santa Clara, who don't look now, but has cut this to a 14-point lead and has a chance to cut it to 13.
Brown and Pajemski come back into the game.
There they go.
The reserves, actually made a run on Utah State, and now Sendek going back with some of his starters.
And you wonder if Utah State were to keep this in that 20-point range, if they would have been brought back in. Looks like we got a timeout on the court. We'll take it. 30-second coach's timeout. Aggies lead 74-60 on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. 74-60. I think you just did blame John Neal. We're talking about big leads, and I told Spencer during the break, I'm like, I will never feel like a game is out of reach after watching that Boise State game a couple years ago. The Aggies were up 18 points with like 4 minutes left to go in the game and end up losing that game. I know, Sam, you're listening. I apologize. And you said, I'll never forget the Pacific game when you're up by 8 with, 30 seconds left?
32 seconds, up by 8, national television. Monumental loss that actually catapulted us to winning the Big West tournament and going to the NCAA tournament. It was part of the plan. I know not everyone knew that, but it was part of the plan. Scotty.
Bank of Utah and Utah State Athletics team up this basketball season for Hoops for Hope. This season, Bank of Utah donated $1,500 to the family place. Big thanks to Bank of Utah for your continued support of Utah State Athletics and the Cache Valley community. So here we go. Keyshawn Justice, who got the bucket, will attempt the free throw and knock it down, and it's a 13-point game. Aggie's largest lead in this one has been 21. You need to string a couple buckets here because here comes, you look at the body language of Santa Clara. They're very much feeling like they can make a run and get right back into this thing, which they have. Ashworth being guarded closely by Stewart, leaves it for Bairstow. Bairstow on the right wing, guarded by Brown. Bairstow crossover dribble. Bairstow in the lane, right-hand push shot, up and good, right over the top of Brown. 76-61, that snaps that 6-0 run by Santa Clara. Quickly in the lane is Stewart. His pass stolen away, cross-court pass. Aggies coming up with steals right and left. Ashworth cranks the three in transition. No good. Rebound up and in. Bairstow with a bucket and the layup. 78-61, 17-point lead for the Aggies after Santa Clara cut it to 13. Holt trying to slip it to a cutter, cannot. Needs some help. He's still in trouble. Finally able to get it to Stewart. Back to Holt. Leaves it for Justice. Justice steps back, takes the three. No good. Rebound fought for, and Ashworth pulls down his 5th rebound of the game. Leaves it for Bairstow. Back to Ashworth. Ashworth hands to Bairstow, who wants to drive. Caught up in a little bit of traffic, so he retreats and gives it back to Ashworth. Ashworth gets to the elbow, leaves it for Bairstow to Shulga. Shulga on the left wing. Crossover dribble up against Pajemski. Drives into the lane and gets in traffic and gets fouled. 78-61, 17-point lead, 7:56 left to go in the game. And Taylor Funk will check in when we come back. Aggies lead by 17 on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield.
Can't choose between watching your favorite Mountain West team on TV or going everywhere else you need to be? With the official Mountain West app, you don't have to. Watch hundreds of Mountain West games and championship events, live or archived, from wherever you are, all for free with the Mountain West app. Available on mobile and connected TV devices. Download the Mountain West app today.
Left to go here in the game. Utah State leading 78-61. Aggie scoring summary brought to you by your Utah pork producers. From the farm to your fork, Utah pork producers committed to providing nutritious products to Aggie fans and families across the state. Visit utahporkproducers.org. All right, so Utah State led by as many as 21. Santa Clara was able to cut it down to 13, but the Aggies currently on a 4-0 run has pushed it back to a 17-point game with 7:56 left to go in the game. Aggies shooting 48% from the field, holding Santa Clara to 43%. Aggies' three-point shooting is now dipped below 40%, 11 of 28 from beyond the three-point line. You knew that was going to come back down to earth a little bit after that hot shooting first half.
Yeah, you look at those three that were really hot between Ryland, Steven, and Taylor. Taylor's the only one that's been able to knock one down in the second half.
Shulga looking to inbound, finally gives it way up top to Ashworth, and Ashworth's going to be hit and fouled. And for Santa Clara, that'll be the 14th foul this half.
One thing that's interesting to me, Utah State this season has had a really hard time getting the ball in on the baseline inbounds.
Bradley had a couple steals in that game off that same play.
Yeah, I mean, it's that long pass. When we played, Stu would have us line up just 2 feet on the baseline, so it was kind of a post up. It's really hard to throw that 30-foot pass and not have it intercepted.
And teams know it now, and they're challenging it too.
Yep.
Shulga gets the elbow, retreats, hands to Bairstow. Bairstow in the lane. He leaves it for Akin. Akin in traffic, puts up the shot and draws the foul. Akin's been really good tonight, really active. He'll go to the line for a couple free throws.
Yeah, that's Dan's game. You knew he was athletic, long, really active, rebounder, rim runner. But like I had mentioned earlier, the pleasant surprise to me is his back to the basket game, especially on that left block, is solid.
Dan Atkins' free throw is good. One more coming up as the Aggies have broken 80. Second free throw by Atkins is good. I'm glad he hit that because actually that first free throw got him to 79. Now it's 80.
There you go. You were just ahead of your time.
I was afraid I jinxed it. Long three. Marshall left open, misses it, and rebound pulled down by who? Still on the court. Funk's trying to keep it in play. Leaves it over for Shulga. Shulga goes to Bairstow. Shulga outside the three-point line. We'll explain what happened here in just a moment. 7:23 left to go in the ball game. Aggies lead by 19. Shulga driving, leaving for Bairstow. Reverse layup, up and good. Oh, how'd he get that to go? Aggies now match their largest lead, 82-61, and we got a technical on Bairstow.
I think Bairstow was more reacting to the crowd instead of the refs, but I'm not sure on that one.
My goodness. Aggies now with a technical and 2 flopping technicals as well. Walk us through what happened with Shulga here.
So, scuffle for the ball, bouncing around. All of a sudden, Shulga finds it in his hands. But I think it was number 2, help me out there. Marshall, I think, had his hand in the cookie jar and was clearly fouling him. And Max was trying to draw it and flopping up, but the ref didn't give him the call. He got the ball out. He looked like one of my Greek teammates back in the day with his both hands in the air, wondering why he didn't get the call.
Pajemski makes both free throws, so it's a 19-point game, 82-63. 7 minutes left to go in the game. Coming around the screen is Stewart. Stewart still controlling the dribble, rises from around the free throw line and airballed it. And Akin pulls down another rebound. Akin's got 4 rebounds on the night, and now he has a two-handed dunk. Beautiful pass in the paint. Akin throws it down. 84-63. Aggies up by 21. Pajemski outside the three-point line. Only 12 points from him tonight, and his last 2 came from the free throw on the technicals. Pajemski entry pass to Brown. Can't collect, recollects, then hands to Pajemski. He gets inside the three-point line, flips up the shot, misses it. Shulga tips it to himself. Nice rebound. Shulga drives, draws the foul. And that will be the 16th foul on Santa Clara. Utah State also has 16 fouls as well. Remember, the first Aggie Coaches Show with Ryan Odom will be on Wednesday, November 30th at 6 o'clock at Ruby's Pizzeria and Grill, 14 North, 795 East in Logan. Coach Odom will be there. We'll have players. You can ask questions. I'll give you a free appetizer because I'm nice. Let's go. Let's have some fun.
You're a pretty nice guy.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, pretty nice. I didn't say really nice. I said pretty nice.
84-63. When it comes to appetizers, though, I'm slinging those things. Let's go.
Sliders.
Mozzarella sticks for everybody. All right, baseline inbounds with the Aggies up by 21. Trying to find somebody to clear. Gives it to Ashworth. Ashworth works to the far side of the court. Now gets it back from Ryland Jones. He'll drive, leaves it for Akin. Akin tries to finish at the rim, and you bet he does. Akin with the layup, and he's had himself a night tonight. He's got 13 points on 5 of 7 shooting with 4 rebounds.
Kind of a two-man game. Steven ends up setting the screen for Akin after he hands it off, and Dan takes it to the rim.
86-63. 5:50 left to go in the game. Napper outside the three-point line again. Works it down to the big man, Bediako, and Bediako is fouled. And that's going to go against Akin. Crowd's happy about a lot of things tonight. One thing they're not particularly pleased with is the officiating. That's the 17th foul. Bediako is going to go to the line for a 1-and-1. 5:49 again left to go. Aggies up 86-63 against a really good Santa Clara team. As of right now, this is a this is a quality win. They came in on the Ken Palms just under 100 at 98. First free throw missed on the 1-and-1, and Shulga pulls down the rebound. Underhand scoop pass to Ashworth to Rylan Jones. Then gives it back to Shulga. Shulga gets the elbow. Shulga fouled hard, and we'll get a couple free throws.
I like to see Max assert himself. I mean, physically he can do that. It's a matter of him just kind of taking charge and saying, I'm going to be more aggressive and not deferring to other guys. Fully capable of doing it, and I love to see plays like that.
Coming into this game, Santa Clara been holding their first two opponents to a 67-point per game average as Shulga shoots that thing hard.
That was flat.
That looks like some of my putts just rimming off that back of the cup, coming in a million miles an hour.
You don't go short? I feel like you would be a guy that goes short. You
really?
Go for the whole, yeah.
Shulga makes 1 for 2. 87-63. So I was mentioning 67 points a game defensively Santa Clara had been giving up. Aggies already at 87. 5:30 left to go in the game. Tilley back to Napper. Napper leaves it down low. And a ball stolen away, but a foul is going to go either against Akin or Shulga. Atkins is the one saddled with it.
Yeah, I don't love that call. That Dan came over. The guy started to fall into him before he even got there.
Yeah. Akametu will go to the line for 2 free throws. Actually, no, this is still 1-and-1. Made his first 2. Again, he'd only played in 1 minute of one game this year. He's gotten extended minutes here in the second half. Makes a free throw and just earned himself another one. Also set to check in is Cameron Tung. Averaged about 9 minutes a game, but this is his first time out on the court tonight. 87-64. Second free throw. Akamatu is good. And Utah State trying to park this car in the driveway and get their third win of the season to start the year 3-0. Ashworth gets a nice screen, rises for 3. Yes, sir. Stephen Ashworth buries the 3. 16 points on the night tonight for Stephen. He's 4 of 6 from 3.
No hesitation at all.
Tung trying to get around Akin. Shulga tries to swipe it away, but he's going to go back to the basket, spin, puts the right hand floater up, missed, and the rebound pulled down by Funk. Ashworth does not have numbers. He doesn't care. He's running. Ashworth then leaves it back for Funk. And a foul is going to go against Santa Clara on the screen as Ashworth hits the deck.
He got hit solid there. He wasn't selling any call. That guy, number 21, went straight through him. Yeah, Cameron Tung, and he's got a running back's body.
So Stephen Ashworth, who got his career high last week against Bradley with 28 points, is looking for 18 with these 2 free throws. First one is up and good. He'll have one more. Aggies have broken 90, 91-65. Trying to hit that century mark. Here comes another free throw coming from Stephen Ashworth. It is up, and it is good. And Utah State 92, Santa Clara 65. Not gonna lie, I did not see this score coming. Napper leaves it back for Tilley. Tilley then hands to Marshall. Marshall driving. Marshall lost the handle on the way up. Here comes Stephen Ashworth on the pass. Ashworth still with the ball. Ashworth lost the handle, finally collected by Funk. Funk kicks it back to Shulga. He'll take the 3. No good. And Tilley skies for the rebound. I think Ashworth was trying to slip it to Akin.
He just couldn't get his fingers on it.
Napper working around a screen from Tilley, then gives it back to Tilley. Ryland puts his hand in the cookie jar, knocks the ball out, but they're going to give Ryland the foul on that with 4:16 left to go in the game. 92-65. Keyshawn Justice will chuck into the game.
You know, you can tell Herb's been going with a bunch of different lineups to see if he could get anything to work. Hasn't been able to. The reserves are in. I wonder if he's parked his starters for the rest of the night.
Tilley's first free throw is good. One more coming up. RJ Eidelrock comes into the game for Max Schulga. And Max Schulga gets a nice applause, and deservedly so, as he walks off the court.
A solid night for Max so far, and I don't know if he's done. I would imagine he is. 8 and 6 and 4 for him.
But I thought defensively, wasn't that still on the rim? Free throw looked to be coming out and then tapped in by Cameron Tongue for the 2-point bucket. All right. 92-68. Aggies still lead by 24. 4 minutes exactly left to go in the game. Rylan Jones driving. Rylan, underhand pass to RJ Eidelrock. Back to Jones. Back to Eidelrock. Eidelrock driving. His shot up and good. Good job to see RJ Eidelrock hit the bucket. 94-68. Nice layup attempt. Akumetu with the ball to the elbow. Kicks it left to Justice. He'll drive. His pass deflected away by Funk. Pretty much just Funk's leg got in the way and knocks it out of bounds. All right, 3:30, our final timeout, as Shimon Zapala is going to check in on the next dead ball. 74-68. Aggies leading comfortably with just a few minutes left in this one on the Aggie Sports Network from Learfield. So here comes Santa Clara. Driving is Justice, and he'll draw the foul. It's kind of interesting. We got ourselves a 26-point game, and now we're calling fouls. So going to the line will be Justice. Keyshawn Justice. A guy who had really struggled with his shot. He came into this game was 1 of 19 from the field, and he's 1 of 7 tonight. Makes the free throw. But this guy averaged 42% from 3 last year.
Yeah, he's really started the season on a cold streak.
Started all 33 games last year for Santa Clara, was second team all West Coast Conference, and he just can't get it going. So if you add it up, he's 2 of 27 to start the season from the field.
Yeah, that's a tough way to start the season.
Napper will inbound. Ball on the missed free throw goes out of bounds, and Santa Clara holds possession. 94-69, 3:24 left to go in the game. Finally, Justice able to get the inbounds pass. Swings it cross court, nearly out of bounds, but Napper's able to save it. Takes the jumper and knocks it down from the elbow. And Stephen Ashworth just rolled his ankle. Ashworth's down on the court and in a great deal of pain. I'm assuming it's an ankle. Not exactly sure what it is, but he is in a lot of pain right now.
Yeah, that looks like an ankle, and Stephen is one tough kid. So unless it was painful, that he wouldn't be acting like that.
And Rylan Jones and Shimon Zapala essentially carry him off the court, and he's unable to put any pressure on that leg.
I think Stephen thinks it's bad.
Yeah. 3:12 left to go. Ashworth's going to be helped up by Leah, the trainer, who's one of the best in the business at her job, Akin, and they're going to take him right up the tunnel. And a bad pass from Akin's going to go out of bounds as Stephen Ashworth goes to the tunnel and lays down. That's the biggest storyline right now of this game. Utah State's going to win this game, leading 94-71 with 2:56 left to go. But Stephen Ashworth down and is still attended to and could not put any weight on that leg. Napper misses the shot, and the rebound pulled down by Rylan Jones. 2:43 left to go. Rylan crossing the midcourt stripe, gets a nice screen from Akin. Still behind the three-point line. Gives it to Akin, then to Z Hamoda. Hamoda driving, and his pass deflected off somebody's leg from Santa Clara, and it'll go out of bounds. It'll stay with Utah State. Eidelrock will inbound on the far side. Aggies up by 23. Eidelrock gives it to Jones. Jones still hammering the dribble. Double team, gets into the paint, leaves it for Eidelrock. Eidelrock gets to the elbow, back to Jones. Jones will hoist the three. No good. Shimon tries to sky for the rebound. He takes a nasty shot as he's knocked down to the ground. It goes off Shimon, and it'll go back to Santa Clara. 94-71, 23-point lead. Inbound to Napper. Napper picks up the ball near midcourt, crosses the timeline, working right to left. As we come up on the 2-minute mark, Justice with the ball on the left wing. Aggies are going to go 3-0 to start the season. Floater with the right hand, missed. Rebound pulled down by Akin. Akin working left to right. 94-71. Aggies just going to milk some clock. As Rylan Jones near the logo. Hands to RJ. RJ gets into the lane. RJ leaves it back to Akin. Akin back to the free throw line. Over to RJ. RJ shows, then takes it back to Rylan. Rylan baseline drive. Leaves it to Shimon Zapala for the two-handed dunk over the top of Santa Clara. 96-71. 1:26 left to go in this one. Brandon Napper outside the left wing. Aggies want 100. They're going to empty the bench. RJ Idlerock pokes the ball away from Justice. Swings it right. Long shot inside the three-point line is airballed. And here comes Connor Gillis and Landon Brenchley.
The whole Ridgeline product, Landon Brenchley. Good to see him get in the game. Awesome to see the local kid.
How about this for prep? At Ridgeline, averaged 24.1 points, 8.4 rebounds, and 4.9 assists per game.
His brother plays at the U, and Landon better get a shot off. That's all I have to say. Landon, no. See, this is what you got to learn. You got to get your opportunity.
Akin drives baseline. He'll attack, and he'll go to the free throw line on the drive. 56 seconds left in this one. There goes your winning team, losing team chant. Oh, no. Offensive foul, excuse me. Thought he was going to get some free throws there. And Santa Clara will inbound. Crossing the timeline is Napper. Napper picked up by midcourt by Connor Gillis. Bounce pass down low. Spinning is Tilley, and Tilley gets the bucket to roll in. RJ Idlerock gets the inbound from Brenchley. Hands back to Akin. Akin to Brenchley, and he's fouled. Brenchley's going to have a chance to pick up some free throws here.
There you go.
Landon Brenchley seeing his first time in an Aggie uniform.
His dad's got the camera out, watching it. I love it from the second row. Honestly, this is so cool for this kid walk on to be able to be in this moment.
Landon Brenchley's free throw, no good. Missed it. Adrenaline's pumping on that shot.
Absolutely.
He'll get some more opportunities before it's all said and done. Outside the three-point line, Justice cranks it, misses it, and Akin comes away with it, and some contact down low. And it's going to go against, I believe, Santa Clara. Nope, Zapala is the one settling with the foul. 96-73. Aggies aren't going to be able to hit 100 tonight. Tung's going to go to the line for two free throws. First free throw for Tung is up and no good. One more coming up. Stephen Ashworth standing in the tunnel and makes the second free throw on a set of crutches, but that's so we can just stand up and watch the end of this game, and then he'll be attended to near the end of this one. 96-74, Aggies just dribbling out the clock, no need to shoot, and the Aggies are going to win this game by 22. So after a blowout victory against UVU, a blowout victory against Bradley, the Aggies are going to blow out Santa Clara here in the Spectrum. There it's all zeros on the clock, and we are done. Utah State gets it done, 96-74, 22-point win for the Aggies against a good Santa Clara team. Aggies get it done in impressive fashion.
Yeah, really good win by Utah State. They came out fast-paced from both teams, back and forth. It was a game of runs. And then all of a sudden, Utah State made one run, stayed with it, took a big lead at halftime. We thought that Santa Clara might, with Utah State cooling off from three-point range, be able to get it back to a single-digit game, but they never were.